evening and welcome to Birchmount Stadium here in Toronto, Canada. I'm Mario O'Brien here for the 7th stop of the NextGen Tour. Tonight, the bus takes on the team from the Greater Ontario and Toronto area, also known as GOAT. GOAT will be starting out on defense, pulling to the NextGen O-line. That O-line, Mitch Sion, Jimmy Mickle, Jacob Janin, Simon Montague, Aaron Hahn, Camden Nelson Hall, and Eli Kearns. The bus centering to Montague. Vert stack, isolating Mickle on the break side, dumping to Kearns. Kearns breaks to Mickle, and Mickle drops. Kearns on the mark. This is Anatoly Vasilyev. Goat's end zone. Looks to be a vert stack. Nice IO break for the goal. That's Gord Harrison coming up with the break for GOAT. So an early mistake here by NextGen leads to an easy one for GOAT. The GOAT lineup we're seeing tonight is going to look a little bit different as the season widens down in the USAU club season. It's an interesting summer for this GOAT roster. Lots of things going on in the Toronto area and for Canada coming up in the next couple of months. Of course, the World Games in Cali, Colombia, coming up later in July. And that's going to affect this team because they've got a few players that are a member of that team, and that's affected their practices so far this season. A couple guys you're not seeing out there. One, Adrian Yearwood, great player for GOAT, great handler, defender, great break mark thrower. He's not here tonight. And they're also going to be sending a bit of a different roster down to Atlanta for Terminus later this summer. Talked to Coach Scott Hasty earlier before the game. Said their roster was going to include the likes of Mr. John Hassel, a longtime GOAT player. As the bus takes their set play from Montague, little flood opening up Janin on the open side. Janin finds Mickle. Mickle's going to shoot one deep. This one's hanging a bit. Morrissey this time can't read it. Did a nice job sealing the defender. The Colorado teammates, Mickle and Morrissey, not able to connect here. So Anatoly Vasilyev will pick up for his second March for a break. Vasilyev looks at a vert stack. Marked by Montague. That's Powell. Powell shooting one deep. And a bit of a late bid. Not able to come up with it, the GOAT receiver this time. So Montague will pick up again. Now the bus starting side stack. Hahn isolated, bumped out of the stack. High stall count, and Montague has to get rid of it. A little bit of contact between Montague and Vasilyev, and Montague's going to call a foul on this one. I don't know if we'll get a look at this one. So a touch foul called by Montague. Now the bus goes to vert. Montague out into the lane, but a layout block causes another turnover. And the bus on the verge of getting broken for the second time. Gord Harrison throws this one, and Goat with an early 2 breaks, and the Bus not looking good here in their first 2 points. So the Bus walks back to the line. That's Montague giving directions to the O-line. Talking to from left to right, Scion, Driscoll, Freechild, Jay Clark, Aaron Neal, and Kearns. So far, nothing going for the Bus and everything going the way of Goat here to start. This time the Bus coming out in a horizontal stack. Scion bringing down to Kearns. Man-to-man from Goat. Break throw to Freechild. Freechild with the high break. Wrangled by Driscoll. And Driscoll now finds Clark. Clark with Montague isolated. Montague trapped on the sideline but finds Kearns. End zone offense set here from the Bus. And a bunch of contact downfield. Pick called. Kearns has Montague as his first dump. Scion on the far side of the field. Scion finds his way to the stack, and Kearns is going to flip this one. A floaty pass to Montague, but the Bus, after a shaky start, gets their first goal of the game. And there you see Montague talking to the Bus saying, all right, we got our first goal. Let's have a little fun. Let's relax. Let's come out, play hard. Nice job there by Montague. Trying to control the tempo mentally for the Bus as we take a first look at the Bus D-line. Neal, Dillon, Driscoll, Jay Clark, Erickson, Freechild, and Morrissey. So a huge floaty pull from the Bus is going to start the Goat offense very deep. Nice clearing play from Goat. It's going to send a defender deep. That's their primary deep cutter, Linkvist. But Dillon giving chase. And Linkvist is going to stay in the end zone and reel in an easy goal for the Goat offense. He's going to be a deep target all night for them. There you can see the trust from the thrower, putting it in Linkvist's direction. Nice job sealing out both NextGen defenders. And Linkvist able to stay and tiptoe into the end zone. So not a lot of resistance here from the NextGen defense on the first D point. So Gord Harrison rips one deep, Kearns to receive. And nice job covering the pull, but Allison Hall reads it well, comes and gets it. Inside throw, nice job from Allison Hall. Big fake for Montague, finds Hahn. Mickle calling for the poach. He's going to throw a break forehand to the far side. Scion wide open. Nice job by Mickle. First of all, recognizing he was poached. Then getting the disc and throwing a beautiful outside in floaty put to Scion backside of the end zone. We've seen that a number of times this tour from Mickle. It doesn't matter if it's the open side or the break side. Mickle, looking downfield, is going to be able to reach around any mark and put it on target. Nice job cutting to space by Scion. So both offensive teams rolling these last 3 points. As we take a look at the peaceful Toronto skyline. There you see Aaron Neal representing New Zealand, but tonight representing the Stars and Stripes in his bandana on this 4th of July evening. Freechild blitzing down on the mark, takes away the first throw. Lloyd with the disc, inside break. Finds Octoloni, gets rid of it. And an inside out throw. Dylan trying to make up ground, almost gets there. But Callum McKenzie trots for another goal, and the GOAT O-line, known for their deep shot ability, here showing that they are up to the task tonight, unchallenged on their deep throws. And that was a tough throw, although they were forced forehand. Sometimes when you catch it on the break side, you get a look at that inside out forehand before the mark gets there. As Harrison waits to pull. This GOAT team also largely representing the Toronto Rush, a team that plays now in the AUDL and has been absolutely crushing it, an undefeated season so far this year. Montague's going to send this one deep. Jay Clark looking for it, misreads, but gets a second chance. Sean Henderson pursuing defensively for GOAT, but this time it's Montague to Clark for the NextGen goal. Henderson not picking it up till it was too late. And nice job there by Montague. When you throw it nice and flat, make it floaty, sometimes your offensive player is going to get more than one opportunity. And this time Clark maintained his concentration and put one on the board for the Bus. So despite getting down 2 early breaks, now the offense is clicking for the Bus. As we take a look at Mickle giving defensive assignments. I'm sure they're talking about how to stop that deep game from GOAT. GOAT running their horizontal stack. They do a great job of keeping their cutters shallow, and after they deliver a downfield throw, it's actually their cutters that are mostly responsible for doing their hucking. After they get that one downfield throw, they're great at putting it out there to space. Lots of chemistry between these guys. And a break throw to start. Mickle on the mark. And this time, Isaiah Masih-Kelly throws one away, and the Bus capitalizes early as Driscoll finds himself with an easy goal. The Bus evens it up at 4-4. Nice job by Freechild picking it up early, and we see another inside-out tight forehand. Freechild going shot for shot with this GOAT team. There we see Freechild standing next to his Oregon teammate Aaron Hahn. Both of those guys in their freshman campaign with Oregon were elected freshmen of the region in the Northwest region. Hahn actually was nominated as Freshman of the Year. That's the first time they chose a Freshman of the Year nationally. So lots of power coming out of Oregon. Also, you're going to hear from Camden Allison Hall, who normally plays on that O-line for the Bus. This is Chain Lightning's Jay Clark pulling, and we see a side stack from Goat. Goat has looked unfazed out of their set plays and now eating up the first 40 yards easily. This is Martin dishing to Vasiliev, who finds Reyna. Reyna underneath to Lindqvist. Lindqvist, a nice floaty pass and a big bid from Mark Lloyd. Lloyd, another member of the Toronto Rush. Lindqvist and Lloyd played a lot of points together. Lindqvist, a nice floaty, dangerous forehand pass, but Lloyd times it beautifully for Goat, and Goat still has yet to turn it over here in the first half. Harrison waits to pull. Goat's really showing some versatility out of their set plays. We've seen a horizontal play work. We've seen a vert stack play work, and then we saw that side stack play work. I think any club player who's played against this Goat team knows that they are one of the best in the business in gaining yards out of their set plays. Whether it's to the break side or whether it's deception from a couple decoy cutters, these guys always seem to get that first 20 to 30 yards easily. And that's what really sets up their hut game well, is if they can gain those 20 yards, it really isolates a couple players, making it really easy. And here Hahn saves Montague's throw, and now Montague flips to Dillon. Dillon stepping to the O-line for the first time. Finds Mickle. Now Allison Hall in the backfield. Quick note for the Bus, no Chris Kocher tonight. Kocher went down with a hamstring pull against Ironside. Neal. And nice pressure from number 74, Ricky Seto. It's going to give Goat a chance at their third break. Dillon on the mark. Another break throw. And this time the Goat defender, his foot looked like it was actually in, and he was. Ryan Kiefitz for Goat's third break, as Neal was not able to dump one to the streaking Allison Hall. We've seen a couple times the Bus not able to connect on their dump offense. So Goat with their third break of the first half, and we'll be back after a commercial. Welcome back to Birchmount Stadium, Toronto, Canada. Gord Harrison waiting to pull, as Goat has come out and strung together 3 early breaks to take a 6-4 lead. And their offense has looked good as well. The Bus looking to get it going. Mickle bringing it down to Montague. Flood play leaves Jannon wide open, and Mickle streaking deep, but a pick somewhere in the stack. Chance to reset here from the Bus. Goat switches the force to backhand, and Jannon's going to rip one deep. He's got Mickle. Mickle great in the air, but this one doesn't hang up long enough. And Jonathan Martin with the block. So this time, Janin looking to fellow NextGen captain Jimmy Mickle, but unfortunately, this one doesn't hang up. And Harrison picks up, looking at a vert stack. And a drop from Trevor Henry is going to give NextGen a short field. NextGen catching a break back from that stingy GOAT defense. Clark unmarked. Looks one off to Neal, and Montague is going to take this one. So the bus gets an easy one, but their offense still not looking like it has in the last 2 games. And by that, I mean looking clean and looking like that chemistry is there. GOAT, on the other hand, has looked really clean so far tonight. All of their set plays working. So Freechild talking to the D-line. We'll see if the bus makes an adjustment here to stop that set play. A huge backhand inside-out pull from Freechild. This one drifting just out of bounds. The wind pushing that one at the last second. So GOAT, known traditionally more as a spread offense team, this time have been relying on those set plays. Thompson McKnight with the disc. Octraloni with the disc. Dumps to McKnight. McKnight looking to dump. Erickson on the mark. Finding Linkvist on the open side. Linkvist, high stall count. Takes the reset for a -10. And now we see an inside-out forehand shooting deep to Linkvist. And a nice touch IO forehand as Linkvist reels in his second hook reception of the evening to make it 7-5 GOAT. Scion not quite able to make up the ground. So the bus O-line. Janin to pull down the pull to Montague. Flood play again, finds Hahn underneath. Montague streaks deep. Second time in a row we've seen a flood play from the bus and then an immediate pick called. Montague has steps deep. We see a couple poaches, see if the bus can take advantage. Jay Clark's man completely poached off, and now Clark takes off deep. And an upline cut from Janin. Sneaky throw from Hahn to make it in there. Now Allison Hall on the sideline. And another block on the dump D. That was Powell. So the reset offense not able to reset cleanly. And GOAT is capitalizing as a huge bladey hammer from Vasiliev leads to GOAT's 4th break of the first half for an 8-5 lead as we take a look at the block from Powell. Janin not happy. And the bus will look to regroup after a sloppy first half. And we'll be back in just about 10 minutes to take a look at the second half. And welcome back as we take a look at the NextGen D-line, down 8-5 at half. Talked to one of the injured players for the bus, Chris Kocher, at halftime, and they said, we feel flat. And they said they just needed to pick up their energy, and we'll see if the D-line can come out fired up, try to generate a break, generate some energy for the bus. Jay Clark rips one, a big pull to start things. So far, Goat very successful on their set plays. Again, sending that front of the stack deep. And that leaves Lindquist under and open. Trap mark from Clark. Nice break mark throw to McKenzie. Driscoll marking. Another high stall count. Goat doing a great job using that inside out throw to release pressure. Driscoll again. Nice break backhand to McKnight. Now Lloyd, Lindquist, Kelly. And Kelly's gonna find Lindquist. Again, Lindquist's third goal of the night. And here we see the versatility of that Goat offense. They didn't do it just with the set play that time. They did it with nice, consistent, patient offense. And really it was their ability to break the mark that opened up a lot of these throws. A lot of times those early break throws in a point will open up the open side because the marks will start biting on those around fakes. And the cutters will start biting harder on those break side cuts, leaving the open side open. So Goat holds here 9-5. Kearns bringing it down, tries to get it to Montague, but Kearns overthrows Montague, and another turnover for the bus has Goat going the other way. This is Jones. Jones resets across the field to Vasiliev. Vasiliev throws the inside out. And Erickson almost makes the play. Unfortunately, Goat makes the catch and flips for another easy break. 10-5 Goat. Erickson played the position great, but not able to come up with that throw. Ricky Zetto brings it down. And Goat, so far, only a few turnovers on the entire evening. Can't think of any from the O-line yet. And their D-line has played well. Only giving it back to the NextGen O-line a couple times. And when you're playing that clean, it's tough to beat anyone if you're the bus. You dug yourself a big second half hole. We'll see if the O-line can come out here and steer the bus back on the road. As Freechild trying to bring it down to Montague. But offsides was the call by the observer crew here. Fortunate to have a 3 observer crew. Harrison with the do-over pull. Freechild sitting under it. Goat covers again. Goat's done a nice job of defending that first pass, not allowing NextGen to gain easy yards. Here Freechild gets open for the reset, and Jannon still in his own end zone. Jannon has to go to the hammer. Looks like Jannon called a foul on the mark. Excuse me, no foul called. It was a stall, and this one's going to be a turnover. That was Davide Mori forcing the high stall count, and now Goat on the doorstep of another break. And Goat's end zone offense allows them to punch in their second break of the second half. And they're running away with it here tonight. So far, Goat making this just look like a practice or a run-through so far. All of their offensive sets running flawlessly. Haven't seen much trickery from their defense, just been hard man-to-man. Bus not able to create space like they normally do. Timeout, we'd like to take a break and say thank you to our sponsors at Elemental Technologies. Elemental powered Portland, Oregon, bringing the best high-def live streaming. So 11-5 here. As Harrison waits to pull. Hard to say what it is really that the bus is struggling with. Seems like a number of things. Energy, certainly one of them. Of course, it's hard to get any energy or feel like any positive momentum is going when you're getting broken. So Montague signaling that this one landed just out of bounds. Vert stack from the bus. Top of the stack, 15 yards deep. Mickle looks off 2 cutters deep, and now Driscoll finds space underneath. Jannon burning towards the end of the end zone. This one floating, but Jacob Jannon gets live in the back of the end zone from Mickle. Jannon struggling a little bit as he gets off the field. But Jacob Jannon elevates. And for a guy who's only 5'7", that guy gets up with the best of them. People talk about Jacob Janin being able to time his jumps as well as anyone. And of course, if you're only 5'7", 5'8", you've got to be able to time your jumps well. And that time Janin showed off his hops. See if that can get it going for the bus. So Jake Clark waits to pull. Tim Morrissey, Sion, Erickson, Dillon. This pull floats out of bounds. Goat will take it at the brick. Looks like a side stack. Won't be surprised if you see some sort of flood, which will actually isolate the back of the stack. A lot of times that'll be Lindquist, number 20. There you see that's usually a decoy coming out of the stack. Looks like they were actually looking for that open side cut. There we see the around break. And Lloyd's gonna put this one up deep to Lindquist. Lindquist maintaining space. And Jeff Lindquist routinely goes up over Allison Hall to reel in his 4th goal of the evening. Lloyd throwing to his Toronto Rush teammate, Jeff Lindquist. Both Lloyd and Lindquist, I'm pretty sure also members of that Worlds team that will be playing down in Cali, Colombia. So the GOAT offense still yet to turn one over. Doubling up the bus, 12-6. Low pull this time to Mickle and Montague. Montague had the around backhand, but found Clark on the open side. Montague with a zip break to Driscoll. And Driscoll to Hahn on the open side. Clark. Nice downfield D by Vasiliev on Janin. Backhand around, losing yards, but creating space. Nice flip from Clark to the break side. Now Mickle. Mickle bends one around to Montague on the far side. The bus changing the angle of attack effectively here. Hahn, whose defender slipped, finds himself trapped in the corner. Now around to Montague. Montague dangerous in this position. Is going to float one to the backhand side. And Jake Clark shows his ability to time in the air. Lots of fun plays here in the second half down here in this end zone. I don't think Montague intended to hang this one up there as long as it did. But Clark owned up in the air this time. Lots of break mark throws here by the bus. And a nice job using the width of the field leads to their 7th goal here, but they're still down by 5 breaks here in this one. And the bus defense yet to force a turnover on this smooth, free-flowing GOAT offense. Freechild waiting to pull, standing next to Morrissey. And McKnight with a drop. It's going to give Freechild a chance to probably break the mark for a goal. Throws through traffic to Scion. So the bus gets a break. And it looks like he was throwing through traffic, but that was his intended receiver. That patented low release. Bit of an air bounce backhand from Freechild. Gets them a break and hopefully some momentum in the second half. Something we've seen a lot of from Freechild is that break throw from his backhand. Tends to go either really low with that or really high, making it really tough as a mark to decide which one you're going to try to take away. And a nice pull by Freechild is going to allow Dylan to take away the first pass. Now Scion on the mark. And this time, Kelly drops one and it's going to give the bus another chance at a break. So some action at the midpoint in the second half, going to give the bus a look at another break. Scion. Nice floaty to space by Scion. Now Dylan, Freechild, is going to find Tim Morrissey with the punch spike. And now we see some life from the bus getting back in it. 9-12 for NextGen as the GOAT offense stumbles a bit. Nice pressure there from Neal. Forces a turnover, and GOAT will call a timeout. Tim Morrissey pumped up. So we'll be back as the bus gets 2 breaks in a row. Only down 3 now here in the second half as GOAT looks to regroup. We'll be back after a commercial. And we are back as the bus generating 2 breaks here in the second half. Mickle waits to pull. The GOAT O-line, clean slate in the first half. And now Mickle with a huge pull that's sitting. And this time, Reyna watches it float just out of bounds. So Mickle takes a risk on that big pull, and now GOAT is going to come out in a split stack. GOAT's so good at sending a decoy defender and then finding someone else in space. Here we can see far side of the field. Looks like that middle cutter going to be active. Nice break across the field. Nothing going on downfield. Nice job by the bus shutting it down, but Reyna has shown that around backhand to be useful here tonight. Scion locking down on the mark, but Vasilyev's going to fire to the middle of the field. Linkvist going to send up the hammer. Clark right there. Nice job bodying up by Martin, and Martin finds Lloyd for the goal. So the bus just out of reach on that defensive play. Lindquist not afraid to take those shots. Very confident player from GOAT. Looks like Clark just not able to come up with that one, and Lloyd trails the play well. It's a really nice read there by Martin, especially on such a high velocity pass from Lindquist. GOAT really doesn't hesitate to send it deep. Kearns to Montague. Jannon. Hahn. Hahn looks off Mickle deep. Now Mickle has the space underneath. Nice job using the break side. Kearns. And Kearns is going to break one to lots of space from Jannon. Jannon finds Driscoll. The bus abusing the break side, and now Allison Hall is going to take this one. Nice job, classic vert stack offense from the bus. Couple passes down the open side, dump swing to the break side, and a few break throws later, the bus finds himself still down by 3 as we take a look at Driscoll's break to Allison Hall. Camden Allison Hall tonight wearing Chris Kocher's jersey. So a couple breaks here from the bus. Nice mini run. Got them a little bit of momentum, but it'll take this one to make it a game if they want to stay in it. Neal and Dylan as Goat sends Lloyd deep. Aaron Neal there to make the play. Aaron Neal has come up with a big D in each of the last few games, and this time his timing is perfect as he goes up and gets the block for the bus. As we see the bus looking to run a horizontal stack, the stack a bit deep here, and now they retreat in. Great block there by Neal. Now Erickson. He's got Clark underneath. That's chain teammate to chain teammate. Clark fakes deep. Now Freechild. Freechild's gonna rip one deep, but lots of GOAT defenders in the area. Clark is going to take this one down as 2 GOAT defenders misread, and the sneaky, wise Jay Clark comes up with another break for the bus. And sometimes to get back in a game, it takes a little bit of luck, and I can't say that it's any more than that. Nice play by Neal to get the defensive play, but Freechild is going to take a look at this one and maybe think it wasn't the best decision, but Clark, nice job taking this one in. We saw McKnight trying to box out and just get in Clark's way, but nice job pursuing the play. That's the second time that Clark has stuck with a huck. Nice flip punch spike. And a high five from Erickson has the bus within striking distance, 13-11. This GOAT offense has struck deep on all but 1 or 2 occasions here tonight. And that other occasion, they worked down with some steady, patient offense. We'll see what it'll be here on this point. Vasiliev to take the centering pass, a deep vertical stack. And we've seen this play a number of times. Front of the stack peeling deep. Back of the stack coming in under. This time it was Lloyd off the back of the stack, and Mickle was picked. Sion to tap it in against Vasiliev. And Dylan takes one away on the goal line. Dylan flips to Mickle. Mickle is going to put this one to space, and Sion has NextGen's 4th break of the second half. As the bus is started up and rolling here in the second half. Great dump defense by Dylan, and a nice throw to space from Mickle, and the bus is fired up. 13-12, GOAT with the lead, but the bus charging back. So it looks like GOAT may have fallen asleep just momentarily, and that's allowed the bus to creep back in it. So Trent Dillon steals a block from GOAT. Freechild with the pull. Jannon, Hahn, and Driscoll charging down. Nice floaty pull from Freechild. Is going to pin the GOAT defense, the GOAT offense deep in their own end zone. And they're going to shoot it deep again. This one's a laser. And that one's out of bounds, and it's going to give NextGen a short field. And another look at a break to knot this one up at 13s. Kern's going to pick it up on the sideline. Kern's just leaving it for Freechild. Montague not able to get open, and Clark comes under and finds it. Clark's going to shoot one deep. He's got Driscoll wide open, and the bus is back in it. 13-13, and Driscoll slams it home. And the bus has their energy back and is woken up. Great throw by Clark. Beautiful timing with Driscoll. And another timeout by GOAT is going to have NextGen in control. Boom, shakalaka from Driscoll. And the crowd has gotten into it here. And when I say the crowd, I mean NextGen merch man Morgan. He's fired up. There we see the man with the merch. Let's go, buzz from Morgan. As we take a look at Mickle and Camden Allison Hall putting on the powder, getting ready for crunch time. 13-13, we got a game as the bus charges back. The bus D-line, Neal, Mickle, Erickson, Morrissey, Sion, Allison Hall, and Dillon. The bus look to be marking up man-to-man. That GOAT O-line trying to maintain composure as they've given up 5 breaks here in the second half. This will be Mickle to pull. Mickle juices a backhand. This one's floating. Dillon charging down. Going to try to take away that first throw. He does. The clear out play is going to leave Linkvist open underneath. Looked off. High stall count, but Reyna bails him out. Reyna throws the inside to Lindquist. Allison Hall on the mark. And the GOAT offense settles. Morrissey not able to get the block. Now Reyna. This is Kelly finding Lloyd. Lloyd with the high outside in backhand as GOAT works to the other side. Now Reyna, pick called downfield. Allison Hall forcing that closest dump downfield. Clears him out. Now Reyna looks for another inside out. Finds Lindquist. Lindquist, hammer over the top. Finds Lloyd. Mickle marking. Another inside out to Lindquist. And GOAT effectively uses their break throws to manufacture a goal. Great defense by the bus on the open side, forcing tough throws. But Lloyd and Lindquist this time were up to the task. A couple inside outs and a hammer and an around backhand led to an easy flip to Thompson McKnight for the goal. So GOAT stops the bleeding and will have an opportunity here on game point. As Freechild marches onto the field with Hahn, Jannon, Clark, Driscoll, And Montague. This is an experienced O-line for the bus. Montague and Freechild, both bus veterans, along with Driscoll and Jannon. Freechild takes the centering pass, gets it to Kearns. Kearns has got Hahn. This will be a jump ball. Hahn, one of the best, brings it in. Nice play by Hahn, and he's gonna find Driscoll. And a 50-50 lands in the hands of the monster, Aaron Hahn, just finished up his sophomore campaign at the University of Oregon.
That means we are officially in overtime.
As we move into overtime, the game will be win by 2 to a maximum of 17. Really difficult read there that Hahn was able to make, and a nice fake. And Driscoll reels in another one. And here we see the NextGen D-line. They are definitely hungry for this one. 5 breaks so far, just in this half. So far, Lindqvist has been the key downfield offensive player for GOAT. Always able to seem to fake out his man and create space either deep or underneath. A huge pull by Mickle is going to have GOAT starting deep in their own end zone. Lloyd finds space underneath, is going to shoot this one deep, but Freechild trying to hold his man. And Freechild is going to call a foul here on the offensive player, saying that he used his arm to create space. And Kelly saying that he simply maintained his space. There we see a push at the early stages with that arm. And we are going to see Freechild actually pull back that foul call. And I want to give credit to the thrower at this point. Threw it to a place where the defender just couldn't get to it. And a nice job by the receiver, that was Kelly, maintaining his position despite the streaking Freechild. When you throw that outside in forehand, you want to throw it to the spot where it's the farthest possible place from the defender. And that's going to be to what I call the back shoulder or the outside shoulder. In this case, the receiver's left shoulder as he's running down the field. That means the defender is going to have to run all the way around the defender to try to make a play. Great execution by GOAT. Now Montague. Montague flips over the top to Kearns. Tight defense here from GOAT. Montague with space underneath. Montague's going to rip this one deep, but no one's going to run down Driscoll. Driscoll takes his 3rd goal of the second half, and that's an easy one for the bus as Vasiliev is befuddled at half field as he could not hang with Montague. A beautiful throw by Montague. We've seen that a few times here tonight. Keeps it flat. Makes it catchable for a long time. And that's an easy one from Montague. Montague looking Driscoll look good. But Driscoll did a great job of creating separation and timing that deep cut off of that upfield cut. It's actually something that we were working with at a clinic today earlier in the Toronto area with some of their YCC players. They wanted to learn more about deep cut timing, and that was the expert, Will Driscoll, starting shallow, knowing his thrower's abilities, and making a break at the right time to create space. Now Clark's gonna rip a huge outside in backhand that's tailing in, and this one just lands outside the back of the end zone. It's one of the biggest pulls we've seen from Clark so far on the tour. 15-15. In the background, we see coach a bit concerned. This is Reyna. Throws that around backhand. And an underneath finds Kelly. More of a spread offense here from Goat. Nice continuation downfield. This is Lloyd. Trap mark from Freechild. High stall count. Going to float this one up top. But that's a beautiful hammer over the top from Mark Lloyd. Keeps it on a blade and once again finds Kelly in the back corner. Mark Lloyd dropping a dime of a hammer to give Goat their 16th goal. And Goat will have another chance to seal the deal. So Harrison. And another offsides call by the observer is going to give NextGen a short field. They'll start at midfield. Kearns will be Montague's reset behind him. Avert stack, left to right, that's Jannon, Hahn, Driscoll, and Mickle. Montague breaks to Hahn. Montague blows up line, break throw from Hahn. Montague on the just outside his own end zone. And Hahn blows up line. And a huge block from Toli Vasiliev is going to give Goat a chance at the victory. That's been the throw that Montague has fallen in love with here on the tour. And now Vasiliev catches one up line. He's got two receivers streaking deep. Decides not to throw it. Montague, despite the trap mark. Vasiliev got that one off, but observer going to call travel. Montague saying he wants to come in on 7. As they discuss with the observer, the bus will have a chance to earn this one back. It's coming in on 8. Let's see if the bus can communicate and force a tough throw that'll give them an opportunity for a turnover. I'm thinking Vasiliev will be not afraid to lose a bunch of yards just to reset the disc. Vasiliev looking downtown. He's got, that's Mickle in the area, and Mickle's going to rip this one back for the bus. That's the wrong matchup for Vasiliev to choose. And now Driscoll finds space underneath. Driscoll to Montague. Montague's got Hahn streaking deep, but he looks him off. And now Allison Hall to Kearns. Kearns has got Mickle. Will be another jump ball. Mickle trying to come from the backside, and Jimmy Mickle goes up big here in the second half in overtime to tie the game up at 16-16, and that's the play that Mickle loves to make. We saw Mickle doing it on both sides, stealing the block, and then ripping one down in the end zone. And I'll tell you what, that defender was in great position, but he just got pwned in the end zone. So an incredible play by Mickle is going to give us a full count in the bottom of the 9th. So it's golden goal. Next goal wins. As the bus brings out Freechild, Dylan, Scion, Neal, And this is Freechild's best pull of the night. Gonna start Goat just outside their end zone. This is Lindquist finding Kelly. Nice pressure on the mark from Neal. Nice release break throw there from Kelly, finding Reyna. Tight pressure from the bus. Reyna, no options, tries the inside break and finds McKnight. McKnight, no options, gonna try the break backhand and finds Reyna, but a call downfield. Looks like a pit call. And this one's gonna stay because that throw did not affect the play. Again, that break backhand, releasing the pressure for Goat. So Reyna again, marked by Scion. Goat just 20 yards out now. Losing yards to Lloyd. Montague marking. And Montague gets his hand on the disc, but Lloyd comes back up with it. Montague again marking Lloyd. Lloyd's gonna shoot one deep. He's got a receiver. And Goat will run away with this one. Callum McKenzie comes down with the final goal, and give tons of credit to the bus for making this one interesting. Montague comes up with the point block, but unfortunately Lloyd able to maintain possession here on this last point. And Callum McKenzie brings down the final goal for Goat. A great contest in a game that looked like was going to be completely one-sided. Both teams shake hands. The fans were treated. I want to say thank you to our observers, thank you to our sponsors, Elemental Technologies, Friction Gloves, Patagonia, Discraft. I want to say thank you to our video crew, Ian Lunger and Adam Bilbino. Shout out to the merch crew, Morgan and George. And of course, Vin Bowie, Kimber Coles on the ones and twos up in the booth. Kevin Minderhout is your Next Gen Sensei. I'm Mario O'Brien. Everyone have a wonderful evening, day, life. We're out.